God bless you all. Here's how we gonna do this. Young man grew up in a family of 9 people from the PJs. You know what I'm saying? Not really understanding life, but living. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to figure out life, playing ball, chilling with my boys, getting into stuff. Some fights, some weed, some arguments, some gambling, some a little bit of everything when I was young, man. I got to see a little bit of everything. Came off the porch a little bit young, man, but I was in the midst of everything. I was born early. My mom had me and my brother early at a young age, so it put us in a weird spot. We felt like we were the children, but we also felt like we was like the I don't know. It was weird. It's like being your grand being a your being how do you say it? Like your grandparents feeling like your parents. That's the best way I can describe it. So, um, so no, they I guess you know what I mean they did as best as they could with the knowledge that they had and the faith that they had, but it wasn't efficient. The reason why I say that is because I went through a lot of spiritual stuff as a kid, man. Um, I was sexually assaulted by 2 women before I was the age of like 8 or 9. So things started for me early, man, and I kept it to myself, man. As growing up and you hearing men do this and men are solid and men don't tell nothing. We keep it to ourselves and we ride and we gotta be strong. And so you adapt to the programming. You shut down. You accept it. You move forward. So then that activated, not knowingly, that activated kind of a spirit within me. So when I became maybe the age of I want to say 15, maybe 14 to 15, I started just having times where I could over excessively think about certain people or a female, and and see myself doing things with her, and maybe not even the next day, maybe a day later, day or two later, the same thing I was dreaming about would actually happen. And I didn't know what that was. I didn't know it was a demon trying to control me, trying to take over uh, me like it did the last generation, like it did my mom's, like it did my grandparents, like it did my father, like it did his father's parents. It's a generational curse for a reason. Those things are real. They exist. People ignore them, man. So that pretty much started at like 13, 14, 15, 16. Um, then when I got to, I guess I say I got to high school. I was well, even before high school, junior high school, like always the life of the party, always knowing a lot of females, always showed love, always had more female friends than guy friends. Like on a high note, like I loved women, bro. Like ah, but anyway, in that process, it also made me I guess want to dominate. Like I guess I was dominated, so now I want to dominate. So it made me see things different, act different, move different, see people different, understand life different. Um, so I started stealing. I started, you know, anything to put the pieces to the puzzle, man. And I wasn't too bad of a kid. I didn't play with pistols too much, but once or twice, nothing too crazy. But when you're trying to establish yourself as you a certain type of person, or you want to ride for this, or you make a lot of dumb decisions, man. And you know, you meet a lot of people on that path too. Meet a lot of different people on the path of being wild and trying to figure it out. And when I wasn't too wild. Let's just say like I knew when to let it out and when not to. Let's just say that. You live a life of masks. You know what I'm saying? So I understood like, man, we gotta move different. We gotta see things a little different. So maybe like I got to high school. My grandfather used to say to me, when you one day you gonna meet a girl and she gonna rock your world, man. And it's like, dog, I don't even know why he would say that to me. I had already like shown him like, yo, man, I got this one pretty one, this pretty one, whatever. But he would say to me like you gonna see. So I got there eventually, and I did meet a beautiful one. She was good, but the way the way I had put the situation together, it wasn't the best way. Like I wanted her. A lot of other niggas wanted her as well. So you know how it is. You a dude. It's competitive. It's dog eat dog. It's who's trying to get it first. It's who got the best lines. Who got the best verbiage. Who could slang them. You know what I mean? You know how it is when you a dude trying to figure it out. And so I ended up with her, and it was a good time. We really got to know each other for a little bit. Got to know her story and her life, her family. Um, it's funny because she had also been assaulted when she was younger, and so I didn't realize it, but we were trauma bonding. That's what brought us even closer together. Um, so we started building and talking, and you know what I'm saying. You young and you don't really know better. You 17, I'm 18, and you know you do certain things, and I can't really. Well, I can't go into detail because it's my story. We were doing certain things one day, and peoples came back, I guess, to pick her up or whatever. And her peoples heard something, and then she told me later on that her peoples heard it, so it was kind of funny. But it was kind of embarrassing. But when you're young and you're dumb, you don't really know better, and you really don't care either. You know what I mean? So just trying to figure out life, and you think she's the one. I thought she was, and it's like not knowing. It's like you don't really know this person when you're young. The person don't really know themselves, man. And so you leave that situation. Move. I'm skipping ahead a lot because this life. The life that I live is a lot to tell, to go into, to wrap my mind around, to go into deep detail and express feelings and emotions. This you would turn off the video already. It'd be too long, too much to digest. So I'm just cutting it kind of in parts. Uh, so with all of that in my head, growing up and chilling and spending time with her, we ended up breaking up. I don't even know why, but I do know why. But that's for later on in the video. Um, then she's like, you know what I'm saying? Then she moved on. I moved on. We still try to keep in touch. Every now and then we pop in and out of each other's lives or whatever. And then she went her path and I started going down mine. But you know, some people's path is dark. When you both on the path of dark, you don't know who's darker than who, which poison's worse than the other poison. You just living the poison life. Nigga. You don't know better. So she started dabbling with dark shit. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't really know much about it. I was in the streets at this time, trying to figure it out. But a little bit before that, um, right back to high school. Um, I had I was like, you know what I'm saying, graduated high school, you move forward, I'm working, and I wasn't eating the best at the time, so I ended up in the hospital. So I'm like 18, going on 19 at the time. So I'm in college and I'm working and I'm hustling. I'm like trying to put, you know what I'm saying? I'm changing my ways, but I'm still a little bit in the old stuff too. Um, but I'm not eating the best. And I'm still living around, it's a different house now, a different situation. It's less people. Uh, Me, my grandparents, um, just trying to figure it out. Everyone had already moved out, got their own life, and transitioned into whatever they were transitioning into. Um, and my long story short, I ended up in the hospital with diabetes or whatever, and so I was in the ICU for a long time. Um, Bro, I went through a whole long situation, bro. Like food and drinking, getting had to relearn how to get my strength in my legs back, walking, eating, strength, bro. So much, bro. Body breaking down, mind damn near in a coma, bro. Like come out of that, maybe like a month later. Now I'm not in college anymore. I'm not working anymore. I'm like just recovering, trying to get my life back together, how I want to figure it out, what I want to do with it. And my peoples argue with me over, I forget, I don't know if it was money or food stamp or whatever it was. And so I'm kicked out the crib. So I'm 18. I'm not even out the hospital 2 weeks. I'm on 5 shots. No, 3 shots and 2 pills. It might have been 4 shots and 2 pills. But so I'm kicked out the crib. So now I'm saying to myself, damn man, I'm literally witnessing the same thing the person did to my uncle, the same thing that did to my grandfather, the same thing she did to I said, yo, this is a behavior that has been taught to her, bro, over time. It's like it's a real demon, bro, in the family, bro. And I've witnessed like people coming back from mental hospitals and stuff. So I didn't really understand it as a child. Like when you're young, you don't really understand everything that's going on around you. You're just trying to figure out your own life. And when you're young and you're seeing shadows and things walking back and forth between rooms and hallways, and you're talking to people about it, but they don't even understand what you're talking about. It's like man, it's like being in a world and nobody knows why they're here, but you know why you're here, but you don't understand why you know why you're here. It's a crazy dynamic to explain. Um, but anyway, I'm homeless now, so no shots for me, no medicine for me, no insulin for me. So before I leave, she calls everybody and says, if you allow him to sleep at your house, I'm done with you too. So the whole family pretty much listens to one person who dominates everybody because they don't have any enough willpower for themselves to say no or stand up or whatever. Uh, they all say, okay, yes, sir. So I'm pretty much like trying to figure it out. I'm homeless. I'm sleeping at my boys' cribs, staying at a couple friends' crib I can find, sleeping in hallways. Oh my God. Uh, just like taking showers at my great grandmother's house, but then she's telling me to not tell anybody so that she doesn't get in trouble with. I'm like, man, all of y'all are hiding from one person. It's like the top demon is trying to tell the other little small ones what to do. So long story short, man, they left me for dead, man, and caught amnesia, bro. left, left me for dead and caught amnesia, man, and expected like let time go by, let time just fly by, and hopefully if he's not dead or he's not in a crazy house or he'll figure it out. It's like you like throw a nigga to the wolves and hopefully he becomes a wolf or he get eat by them, nigga. And nigga, somehow I became the alpha wolf, nigga. It's the solo alpha wolf. I didn't need a pack. I never needed a pack, man. I got my heavenly pack, man. So bouncing around, homeless, staying with friends, working a couple jobs. So I would work different night jobs to have a place to stay, work day jobs. So I would just situations so that I would always have a place to stay or a time whenever it would suit me. I could move around. Um, that happened for like 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, man. Um, before God helped me get into the right situation, meet a couple good people out in the streets, man. And I was chilling with one of my boys, and he gave me like, "Yo, you should chill with this shorty. You should get with people, certain people. You should da da da." So I took some of the advice or whatever, and I made it happen for myself. And I started building and networking, and got a place to stay. Started working, started grinding. You know what I mean? Had money for myself. Had money to take care of whatever I needed to take care of. Roof over my head for the first time in almost, I don't know, 15 years. Being in the streets, man, working and grinding, and no one ever like asking me like, "Yo, how you doing? Or where you living?" Like, not just oblivious to my whole life, and I wasn't one to express myself at that time anyway, to tell anybody what I was going through. However much pain I was feeling, however much chaos was in my soul and my spirit, I just kept going, man. I didn't know why I kept going. I didn't know how I didn't kept going. I just knew that I had to keep going, and I had moments where I broke down and I felt like, just why am I here, man? What am I doing on this earth? Or what have I done on this earth that was so bad to allow God to let me go through this much hell, man? And I just realized, man, I've been a lone wolf my whole life, since the childhood, since the beginning. People, my family would go do barbecues and picnics. I would not be down for it. I didn't know why I wasn't down for it, but it was like a knowing, like, get your shit together early so that you don't have to deal with the trauma that comes with it later. But I didn't understand that, and so I had to go through it, man. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you could see the writing on the wall, and you can avoid it, and sometimes you see it and you don't see it, and you gotta go through it. So along that path of getting my life together and building and finding a new crib, I start, you know what I'm saying? You start talking to old people and having conversations with different people, and yo, where you at and how you been? And you start finding out that this ex-girlfriend or this dude is into black magic, and this one's into all types of shit, and oh my God, dark magic and candles and witches and war. This one's warlock. This one play with cards, and this one does tarot, and this one reads destinies. This one does palms. This one, it's a whole fucking dungeon of silly shit from the monster, bro. It's like it's really, when you don't realize like that your people is in the midst of dark shit because you're in a dark situation because you haven't found, you're trying to find God, but you haven't found him yet. That's where I was at with it at that time. And so I heard the voice of God one day, man. I was sitting at the house. I heard the voice of God, and He said to me, "Will you leave it all behind for me?" And I almost hesitated, and I heard something say, "Don't hesitate." And so I didn't hesitate. And it's funny because as soon as I didn't hesitate, the energy of like takeover began to happen, and I felt the presence of God. I felt the love of God. My mind began to change. My heart began to change, and I began to, like, I guess, cry. Didn't know why I was crying, but it began to come out of me, and I began to see all of the trauma of my life, the abandonment issues, the family traumas that were shoved under the rug, the mental abuse, the spiritual warfare of generational curses, that things that I was going to have to battle and step into because of family that didn't want to do the inner work that I was having to do, or that God chose me to do, because they weren't strong enough to do it, or they weren't willing enough to do it. So, still not taking medicine at this time, still not on insulin. I don't even know how I'm alive to this day. I should be gone a long time ago. Uh, but even to this day, still I don't take insulin like that. I don't. If it wasn't for God, I wouldn't be making this story. I know this. Even the story seems kind of fake, but it's not. It's the realest one I could ever tell you. Um, when I get the book out and everything, um, it'll have the full in detail, the stories, the emotion, everything will be in there. I'm just not trying to go to certain places right now. Um, but anyway, uh, God took over my life, man. Once I said yes, I accepted Him as my Lord and Savior, and it took a long time of praying and talking to God and building with God, and once I gave Him the yes, and once I heard Him say what He said to me, will you give it all up for me and put me first above everyone, family and everything, friends and everything, and I said yes. It was over. So I began to move in that energy, move in that light, see um, that what they had programmed me in, what life was, and what they told me life was. It wasn't that. It was a mirage, man. We were living in ego. We were living in pride. We were living in our flesh, not understanding that this world is not what we perceive it to be. That it is deeper than we would perceive it to be. It is levels to this in every way possible. Um, and it made me understand friends, and made me understand family, and it made me understand why somebody would allow someone to have total control over them like that, in a family dynamic, in a friend dynamic, in any dynamic. Um, and I just began to see the spirit. I began to see the spirit. I began to see God. I began to see Jesus. I began to see everything that was covered. The veil came off, man. And I had another testimony when I was sitting in a chair, maybe 2 months after that, that interaction. God first came to me. It was like during COVID-19. The whole city was locked down, and I'm sitting at the table in my living room, and I hear the presence of God say, "I'm here. Put your head down." And so I again slightly hesitate, living in the flesh, like, who is that? Like, is this really God? Question, slight question. And I hesitate, and I heard something again say, "Don't hesitate." So I put my head down, and I felt the hardest presence on my back. I felt like lava being poured on my back, man. I didn't realize that was the Holy Spirit coming into me, encountering me, coming over me, taking what was on me from all of those years of trauma and trigger and abandonment and friends and family and love and people dying around me and just different things, man. Trying to put everything under life. This happens. This happens when you live life. It was so much coming at me at one time in life, and for so many years that I guess I couldn't I couldn't pocket it anymore. I couldn't store it in the back of my head anymore. And God knew when to come to me, man. He knew like this man is broken, man. And the only way for him to see any type of light is for me to come through and really open his eyes and really take the monsters off his back. So that's what he did that day. He took the monster off my back. I felt when I lifted my head up from the table, I felt as if I felt God's whole hand, holy hand, grab I felt like there was a hoodie under my chin, but I had no hoodie on. And it felt like the hoodie came all the way off from under my chin all the way off to the top of my head, all the way over like a cover. And I breathed so hard. I've never breathed like that a day in my life. And I knew that was the day that God had taken that one of those heaviest, darkest spirits that was on me. He took it all the way off. The cloak. He took the cloak, man, all the way off me, man. And I was new, but I didn't know how new I was, man. I was a new man and didn't know I was a new man. I felt it. I could smell. I could see different. I felt different. Um, for let's say 2020, from 2020 to 2000, I'll say 23, almost 24, 2024. I was just reading books on reading the Bible, reading audio Bibles. I mean, listening to audio Bibles, studying knowledge about finances, studying, reading about self-motivating and how to reprogram your mind. Think Rich, Rich Dad Poor Dad. The in- the interview with the Devil by Napoleon Hill. I started reading Think Rich Grow Rich. Oh my God, so many health improvement books, so many books on different presidents and inventors and bruh, it was amazing because I had been reading stuff that I would have never touched until God came into my life. I knew it was God. I absolutely knew it was God, and I knew that God did exist and He was here for me and He was showing me and loving me and in between all of that I was have nights when I had to get up and pray for myself, for pray off generational curses, pray off things on monsters on bloodlines, pray off, intercede for family that had turned their back on me, man. Intercede for family that had left me for dead, man. And only bothered me when they needed me, only like, and then kept it on the hush hush, keep it on the hush hush. Like, come on, man, like. And years go by, and all of a sudden, it's like people forget the trauma and the shit that I had to go through, and they just lived through it as if because it didn't happen to them, they were living in their own lane of life, and I just had to go through it because it was what it was for some reason, man. And I realized, like, man, I've been sacrificed in humiliation ritual by family, like, for years, man. Didn't even realize it was happening. Just living. Just, oh, man. And if it wasn't for God, man, waking me up and showing me how to pray, teaching me how to pray, what to pray against, who's praying against me, man, God, man, God showing me ex-girlfriends trying to steal money in the spirit from me. This one is sending a depressing spirit. This one is like, what the, like, for real. And it's like, God does not lie, man. God does not play. When God speaks to me, I always know it's true. I always know It doesn't matter who you are, where you are, if I know you, if I don't know you, if you listen to this video, if you don't listen to this video, I'm always ahead of time as long as I got God with me, man, and he stays with me and I stay with him. However you want to shake it, however you want to scribble it down in your book or in your head, Jesus is Lord. He sees you right now. He sees ahead of time. He sees present time. He sees past. He sees everything all at once, man. And so God began to heal my heart from family traumas, from issues, from things I didn't know I had buried deep down in my soul, deep down in the back of my mind. And I'm healed from it and I'm completely done with it. But there's things that I'm always like, not backtracking, but like didn't know I had to heal or didn't know it was still kinking. It was still a little bit of this comes from this and triggers this, and it's a whole chain reaction. It's like, man, there's so much work that you have to do on yourself to be a better version of yourself, and it's worth it, man. I can't even imagine the old me talking to the new me because we would have nothing in common, man. Nothing in common. No. But without going into crazy heavy more details, I've met a lot of different women in the past, even as of last year, 2 years, that are into a lot of different stuff, man. And I'm on God's side right now, and it's like I pray for people, man. I've mentored people, I've helped people through situations that I went through, and some of them turned out good, some of them turned out not so good. It's not for me to be like, oh man, you're like, no, I understand. It's a challenge. It is a fight. It is a battle, man, for the spirit. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but we wrestle against principalities and wickedness in high places, man. These people that choose not to do the inner work, they are walking around with the spirits of the monsters that controlling and have a whole system in which they move towards, even if you don't realize it. It can be it's in every family, bro. Some people don't work, some of it's not in every, let's just say not every family, but it's in most families, bro. The ones that choose to not to do the inner work, that are not the black sheep. The black sheep always do the inner work. The ones that aren't the black sheep, they don't do the inner work. They stay in their substance. They stay in their issues. They stay running to their vices when life gets hard instead of running to God, man. If you run to God, he will save you. If you run to God, he will lead you. If you run to God, he will constantly be there for you. He will always show love for you. There's times when I barely feel like making videos, man, because I get attacked and I've been hit and I've been shit and I gotta pray off things and spirit guide up and shield up, and there's times when I don't want to do it, man. I realize that I'm human just like everyone else is. I'm just on a different frequency because I chose to be, because I put the work in, because I'm constantly putting the work in. It's a work thing. But we all have times when we gotta take a break. It's a brain overload on certain things, and your mind, your spirit needs a break, and God knows he will not give you more than you can handle, and he always there for you, and he knows. He always knows. I just want to say thank you to everybody that spent their time listening to it. It's been an almost 35-minute video. I love you all. I thank you all. It wasn't the best situation, but I made it through, man. A lot of people have amnesia, man. A lot of people don't remember the shit that they did to me, the trauma, the triggers, the issues, the fights, the drama over nothing, over petty shit, over pride, over ego, over whatever, man. I always been a solid nigga, and I never did no one dirty unless they did me dirty first, man. I said, thank y'all for tuning in, man. This is blessed and highly favored. God bless y'all. One.